Hi, my name's Ashley Carlson, and today I'm going to be talking about cheese. I'll try not to be too cheesy or cut the cheese, but it'll be all about cheese. I'll talk to you about the history of cheese, where it all began, the different types of cheese. I'll also tell you some of my favorite cheeses, and lastly, I'll tell you about the effects on cheese. According to the website International Dairy Foods Association, they are dedicated to everything cheesy. It has everything on there from the history of cheese to types of cheese. Their research shows that nobody really knows who made the first cheese. They do show that cheese dates back to over 4,000 years ago. Legend has it that it was really discovered by accident, that an Arabian merchant was traveling through the desert and he put some of his milk supply into a pouch that was made from the sheep's stomach. And as he was traveling throughout the desert, the combination of the sun and the heat and the exposure for a long amount of time caused the milk to separate into curds and wheys. And he drank the wheys and ate the curds, and he was not hungry or thirsty again. After that, it was said that Asian travelers brought it into Europe, and that's where the cheese making started and the development of different types of cheese began. The Roman Empire was also into cheese. Cheese was a delicacy. The Romans also introduced cheese to England. During the Middle Ages and the Roman Empire, the decline of the Roman Empire, cheese was not very popular. However, later the monks discovered American cheese. They furthered the process of making cheese. As the years went by, cheese developed throughout Europe and it finally made its way over to America on the Mayflower in 1620. As the pilgrims settled into the new lands, cheese pretty much stayed on the local farms and with the people. In 1845, a band of Swiss immigrants settled in Greene County, Wisconsin, and started manufacturing of foreign cheeses in America. And from there, it just grew. The first plant was opened in 1868 in Limburger plant. Then in 1851, the first cheese factory in the United States was built by Jesse Williams in Oneida County in New York. Also, the IDFA reports that between 1800 and 1880 there were 3,923 dairy factories nationwide, which made 216 million pounds of cheese that was valued at $17 million. Then, skipping forward to the 1990s, they are making 6 billion pounds of cheese. So, cheese has definitely grown in popularity. Now, today, more than one third of all the milk that's produced in the United States is used to manufacture cheese. So let's talk about the types of cheese now that we know where it came from. So a few little fun facts. In the US, the most popular recipe using cheese, of course, would be mac and cheese. There's also 2,000 varieties of cheese around the world. For Queen Victoria, for a wedding gift, she was giving a giant wheel of cheddar that weighed over 1,000 pounds, and a normal cheddar wheel weighs 60 to 75 pounds. That's some serious cheese. So there's 8 types of cheeses. There's the Asiago cheese, the blue cheese, the cheddar cheese, cream cheese, feta cheese, goat cheese, Swiss cheese, vegetarian cheese. I will talk about my 3 favorite, which would be blue cheese. It is a very strong, distinct taste and flavor of cheese. My favorite brand is the Moody blue cheese. It has a really good smoky flavor to it. In general classification of cow's milk, sheep's milk, or goat's milk, they've had penicillin cultures added so that the final product is spotted or veined throughout the cheese. The color will be blue, blue gray, or blue green, kind of moldish looking. And it carries, like I said, a very distinct smell. Some blue cheeses are injected with spores before the curds form, and other blue cheeses have spores mixed in with the curds after their form. Interesting fact, blue cheese was initially produced in caves. Blue cheese blue cheeses are typically aged in tempered controlled environments such as a cave or similar temperatures. My second favorite cheese would be cheddar cheese. It actually originated in the village of Cheddar, England. Farms cow milk cheese that ranges in flavors from mild to sharp. It can be white to pumpkin orange. Orange cheddars are colored with annatto, which is a natural dye. And cheddar cheese is aged anywhere from 12 months for 5 to 6 years. As the cheddar ages, it loses moisture and texture becomes drier and more crumblier. Sharpness becomes noticeable at 12 months. By 18 months, it's extra sharp cheddar. Optimal aging period is 5 to 6 years. Most cheddars are 3 years old, but the 5-year-old cheddar aged are definitely saved for special occasions. My third favorite cheese would be the cream cheese, and I do have a particularly favorite brand which I live by, and that would be Philadelphia cream cheese, favorite brand of cream cheese. It's a fresh type of cheese due to the fact that it's not aged. The flavor is subtle, fresh, sweet, light, tangy taste. Room temperature, it can be spread easily. It's made by adding cream to the cow's milk, which gives it richness, but it's not ripened. It does have a limited shelf life. It's usually white, and it comes in all sorts of all sorts of low fat, non fat, jalapeno cheddar cheese, jalapeno cream cheese, honey pecan. They're making all sorts of cream cheeses now. I also have a piece of cheesecake, which I love cheesecake, so I must use Philadelphia when I'm making my cheesecake. And now that I've told you about the 8 different types of cheese, what does cheese do on the body? According to the website, the article Effects of Eating Cheese on the Human Body, published by Livestrong.com on February 18th by Dominique Brooks, she states the main benefits of cheese are a number of things like vitamins and minerals such as A and D, as well as calcium and phosphorus. It's rich in protein, and the bad side of eating a lot of cheese is that it does have a higher fat content, and cholesterol is high, sodium is high, as well as people that are lactose intolerant. It is impossible or very hard on the body to digest when they have those issues. An interesting I thought an interesting fact I thought was that independent.com published an article by Kashmir Gander saying that cheese triggers the same parts of the brain as hard drugs. This was released on December 18, 2015. Research shows cheese contains a chemical found in additive addictive drugs. Scientists have also found that cheese is particularly potent because it contains casein. This substance, which is present in all dairy products, can trigger the brain's opioid receptors, which is linked to addiction. So, that I thought was very interesting and maybe can explain why I eat cheese all the time. Once I eat one piece, I don't stop. So, in closing, There's over 2,000 different kinds of cheeses to eat, everything in moderation, of course, but there's no reason to cut the cheese out of your diet.